happening on the Operation Mockingbird 2.0 side is now they are all blaming me for the upcoming midterms. We're not going to win midterms. Like, we're not even close to that right now. But when that happens, it's definitively going to be Candace's fault. It's so ridiculous. I couldn't care less. Tim Pool has been one of these people that is crying a lot. So he hosted Milo Yiannopoulos on his show. And first and foremost, he called all of you stupid. He explicitly said, I am saying that people that watch your show are stupid.
Now, what she's about to discuss here might be one of the most important conversations happening right now. The depth of what she's laying out, plus the extra context I'll add after you see this, is something you really don't want to miss. Honestly, the last 15 or 16 minutes of this video are the strongest I've ever shared. If you watch that and still feel nothing, then maybe this kind of insight just isn't for you. So, buckle up because it's about to get intense. And yes, there's a short ad in the middle, but it connects directly to what we'll be diving into at the end. It's not just random. Trust me, you'll understand when you see it. So, Tim dropped a video today where he shared some thoughts about the wider online world discussing the Charlie Kirk situation. Now, I could easily make this about, oh, Tim P mentioned me, but that's not the point. He actually called out Ian Carroll specifically and mentioned some smaller creators in that same circle. Maybe that includes me, maybe it doesn't. Doesn't really matter. What does matter is that what Tim said gives me a perfect opportunity to dig into some deeper truths people are missing about this whole topic. I've never seen myself as part of any side or camp. I just share what I genuinely think straight up. No filters in these cases. That'll be the last thing we dive into. But first, let's look at what Candace had to say after Tim's heated rant. He went completely off, throwing out a ton of harsh words in just a few minutes. Honestly, it was intense, even by internet standards. I had to cut so many of those out.
Because they're not accepting the Fed slop, and that they will not just eat the Fed slop that we are trying to give them. And then it was funny because later on in the show, he kind of lamented the fact that he lost a bunch of subscribers to his show because he attacked me, even though I never attacked him back. But he didn't put two and two together, which would imply that that means that people who were watching your show were also watching my show. So you're calling your own fans stupid, which is probably why they unsubscribed.
Just to make the clip watchable, naturally Candace fired right back, and things got wild fast. But before we get into all of that, there are a couple of smaller updates I want to touch on first, just to set the stage. Now, I've got a surprise coming up, and you might have already guessed it from the title or thumbnail. Candace revealed something absolutely shocking about an incident that happened at Tim P's house. Yes, the one involving that serious shooting. Authorities have confirmed exactly who is responsible, and what Candace uncovered adds a whole new twist to the story. But first, I need to show you something that ties directly into what we're about to discuss. It's not just filler, it's connected. After that, I'll break down exactly what Candace revealed about the situation at Tim's home, and then we'll unpack everything else that's been building around this controversy. This is one of the strongest videos I've put together. Real talk, it gets deep. Now, if you've seen my videos before, you'll probably notice that for the next minute, I'm reading from a script. That's because I want to stay focused and make sure every single part of this message lands the way it should. This next part is crucial. A major report just exposed what's being called a new wave of digital control spreading across global systems. It's not just about social media anymore. It's about how personal freedoms could be affected through technology. The concept involves linking digital IDs to centralized financial systems, raising huge concerns about privacy and independence. Experts are warning that this kind of setup could allow governments or corporations to track spending.
Regardless of that, Milo Yiannopoulos breaks down the real reason why people are upset, the real reason that if we lose midterms, who we should be pinning the blame on. And he's come up with a way more compelling understanding, which is how we're all feeling.
And even limit access to basic needs based on online behavior or compliance. It's already being tested in some parts of the world, and many believe it's a sign of what's coming next. That's why the topic is so serious. It's about protecting the ability to make choices freely without being digitally restricted or scored by invisible systems. History has shown how control often begins subtly. And the more we depend on technology for everything, the easier it becomes for others to manage our lives without us even realizing it. All right, let's keep it moving. The guy is a total charisma machine. Seriously, you just can't deny it. His delivery, his confidence, the way he commands attention, it's next level. He's got that on-camera presence that pulls people in instantly. And Candace, she's clearly in her element here. You can tell she's feeling that rush of validation when someone finally gets her perspective. She's glowing with that mix of confidence and satisfaction that says, "See, I told you so." Now, I want to respond to all of this in detail, and trust me, I have a lot to say, but before we get there, I want you to hear Tim's take first. He shared some thoughts that overlap with what I've been thinking, and I'm going to build on that once we break it down together. Also, random observation here, I just realized something funny. Every time I catch myself thinking, wow, she looks great, it's usually when someone's wearing their hair up. There's just something about it that really highlights the face, you know? I always tell Gabrielle she should wear her hair like that more often, but she's not a fan. Still, I had to point it out. Anyway, back to business. Let's take a listen to Tim Pool's thoughts. I'll stop the clip after a few moments to explain exactly why what he says connects so strongly to my own point. Now, here's the thing. What was said about Charlie Kirk deserves to be cleared up right away. Candace mentioned that someone claimed Charlie opposed the Civil Rights Act, the one ensuring equal voting rights, but that's a complete misunderstanding of his position. He wasn't against equal rights or the ability for anyone to vote. His concerns were about how certain parts of that law were being interpreted and expanded over time. Twisting that into something else entirely is unfair, especially towards someone who isn't here to clarify their words. That kind of misrepresentation can cause huge misunderstandings. And in a situation already filled with tension, it just fuels more division. So, it's important to call that out clearly. And just to be absolutely clear here, I've never claimed that Turning Point USA had any involvement in what happened to Charlie. The only time I've even questioned the situation was when I wondered if there was something we might not be seeing because honestly, some of the reactions from people close to him have seemed confusing. That's all speculation, nothing more. When I hear people say this whole situation was an operation or designed to create division, I can see how those theories spread, but that's not what I'm claiming. What I am saying is that there's a lot about this story that deserves to be looked at carefully without jumping to extremes. And for the record, my take on this has always been independent. You won't find another creator breaking it down from quite the same angle I do. I call it exactly how I see it. No scripts, no echo chamber, just honesty. And observation. Look, I don't form my opinions based on what others say. That's just not how my mind works. It never has and it never will. I don't follow political sides either. I'm not tied to any party, and that means I can look at situations freely without bias or pressure. Now, here's what I will say. The official version of events being shared doesn't completely add up. I'm not saying I have all the answers, but some of the details simply don't make sense, and I can't just sit back and pretend that those gaps don't exist, especially with major elections coming up. Something about this whole situation still feels incomplete. To me, it's nearly impossible to believe that one person managed to carry out everything exactly as it's being described. Even just from a practical standpoint, it doesn't fit together smoothly. The reports claim they found the weapon involved, a bolt-action rifle, but the physical evidence raises more questions than it answers. A bolt-action weapon doesn't eject shells automatically, so every casing should still be right there. That means the investigation should have full access to compare them. If all the ammunition matches perfectly, fine. But if it doesn't, that's something that can't just be brushed off. And the reports surrounding the individuals connected to this are confusing, too. The suspect's background with conflicting details about emotional struggles and family disputes only makes everything more tangled. According to multiple sources, this person reportedly had incidents of anger in the past, which raises questions about how things escalated this far. Now, some online messages have surfaced claiming responsibility, but that's where things get complicated again. Were those messages genuine, or could they have been staged? If the main suspect truly sent them, why is one of the supposed witnesses now missing? No one seems to know where this person is. Not even online search tools can locate them while their family members are still visible. That alone adds another layer of mystery. Then there's the music video posted weeks before the tragedy, featuring lyrics and visuals that in hindsight seem eerily related. It's hard not to wonder whether it's a coincidence or something deeper, especially when that same day artwork appeared online showing a rooftop scene that mirrors parts of what later happened. So, when people insist that we shouldn't even look into these connections, that doesn't make sense. If new information or inconsistencies show up, why shouldn't the public ask questions? Dismissing those questions as if they don't matter isn't helping anyone.